Everyone, in this video we'll be starting with oxides of group 15 elements. Major oxides of group 15 are trioxides and pentoxides. We'll be starting with the oxides of nitrogen, as nitrogen is the first element of group 15. In addition to some other oxides, in addition to trioxides and pentoxides, some other oxides are also known. Now coming to the oxides of nitrogen, these are the oxides of nitrogen which are possible, in which different nitrogen is present in different oxidation states. As we increase the oxidation state, as we move down the higher oxidation states, the acidic character of these oxides increases. Also in these oxides, nitrogen and oxygen, in between nitrogen and oxygen there exists p-pi multiple bonding. Generally, all the oxides of nitrogen are gases at room temperature except for N2O5, which exists as solid, and NO3 is the one which is unstable. Now coming to the first oxide, that is nitrous oxide, or we can say dinitrogen monoxide, which is also called as laughing gas. This is an important question out of this part, that which oxide of nitrogen is laughing gas, and in which in laughing gas nitrogen is present in which oxidation state. So this comes under the 1 mark category. Coming to the preparation, it is prepared N2O nitrous oxide is prepared by heating ammonium nitrate. It will generate nitrous oxide and water, or it can be generated via the reduction of nitrous acid. Nitrous acid is HNO2. If we reduce nitrous acid with hydroxylamine or hydrozoic acid, then we'll get nitrous oxide, that is laughing gas. It is colorless gas which is soluble in cold water. It is used as laughing gas and has anesthetic properties, which we have already discussed. It can be used as oxidizing agent for some metals and non-metals such as copper, sulfur, carbon, P4, and it itself get reduced to nitrogen. Structure is isoelectronic with carbon dioxide. It is having a linear structure, but unlike carbon dioxide, it is having a dipole moment due to the difference in electronegativity of nitrogen and oxygen. Coming to the next oxide, that is nitrogen monoxide, which is having the formula of NO, and also wherein nitrogen is present in +2 oxidation state. Here you can be asked a question in exams about, you will be given the formula of oxide, you will have to name it and you will have to calculate the oxidation state of nitrogen in that particular oxide. So coming to the preparation, it is prepared as an intermediate in between in the preparation of nitric acid, that is Ostwald process of nitric acid, from ammonia, which we did earlier, that ammonia is used as raw material for the preparation of nitric acid. With this whole process is called as Ostwald process, in which nitrous oxide, that is nitrogen monoxide, not nitrous oxide, it is nitrogen monoxide, which is produced as intermediate in Ostwald process, wherein ammonia is heated in the presence of oxygen at 500 degrees Celsius. In the presence of platinum rhodium as catalyst, we get NO as intermediate. Coming to the chemical properties of nitrogen oxide, nitrogen monoxide, it reacts with iron 2, it oxidizes it to iron 3, and itself get reduced to NO negative, which is the basic of brown colored ring formed during the testing of nitrates in mixture analysis, which we did in organic compound analysis of second year syllabus, where you will be doing brown ring test for organic compounds containing nitrates. So the compound the responsible for the brown ring formation is this, where NO is present as NO negative. Here iron is in +3 oxidation state. Due to this compound, brown ring is formed. This is an important 1 mark question, that which compound is responsible for the formation of brown ring in brown ring test. So this is a associated reaction where iron is in +2 oxidation state and NO is in 0 oxidation state. both will react. Iron will get converted to +3, NO will get converted to minus. That's so that NO is getting reduced and iron is getting oxidized. So this is a simple oxidation reduction reaction. It also reacts with halogens, that is X2 is represents the halogens. It reacts with halogens to give nitrosyl halides. It can also act as oxidizing as well as reducing agent. It can reduce highly strong oxidizing agents like KMnO4, halogens, K2Cr2O7, HNO3, and also it can oxidize metals and non-metals just like N2O. Its structure in gaseous form is, this is the important part again, that it exists as monomer. Its monomer is paramagnetic in nature as odd number of electrons are there. In liquid state or solid state, it exists as loose dimer. In gaseous form, it exists as monomer, that is NO itself, and in liquid or solid state, it exists as loosely held dimer where dimensions of bonds are given. This is diamagnetic in nature. Also, bond order in case of NO is 2.5. If we remove one electron from the antibonding orbitals, then what happens is bond order increases. Increase in bond order means bond strength increases and bond length decreases. So there is increase in bond order via the removal of one electron. If it acquires 1 plus charge on NO, then bond order is increased, which means bond strength is increased if we remove one electron out of NO. And after losing one electron, it becomes diamagnetic due to the removal of one odd electron present in the antibonding orbitals. Next oxide of nitrogen is dinitrogen trioxide, that is N2O3. If we want this oxide of nitrogen in the pure state, it exists in the solid state but at very low temperature. Above its melting point, which is -100 degrees Celsius, it decomposes to give NO and NO2. The N2O3, which is bluish solid, above -100 degrees Celsius, it get decomposed to colorless NO and brown colored NO2 gas. Also, it can be prepared, now coming to the preparation, it can be prepared from NO mixture of, if we take equimolar quantities of NO, that is nitrogen monoxide and nitrogen dioxide, and cool them below -20 degrees Celsius, then we get blue colored solid compound, that is N2O3. So if we want to discuss the physical properties, that its solid is pale yellow, its liquid is, it changes color when we change the temperature conditions, we change the physical conditions. Solid is pale yellow, liquid is intense blue, and as the temperature rises, it start decomposing to give NO2 gas. So there will be the formation of brown color, which along with blue color will give us overall greenish tinge, which ultimately gets converted to brown due to the formation of NO2 gas. Coming to the chemical properties, this is also important point, that you can be asked a question, you will be given a gas and you will be asked about, you will be given the oxide of nitrogen and you can be asked about that this nitrogen oxide is anhydride of which acid. Then here N2O3 is anhydride. If some oxide reacts with water to give some acid, then that means that an oxide is anhydride of that particular acid. So here N2O3 is anhydride of HNO2, that is nitrous acid. That means it has been formed after the removal of water molecule from nitrous acid. This is its structure. It has a planar structure with long NN bond. NN bond is comparatively long here. This is the structure of N2O3. Now coming to the next oxide, that is NO2 and N2O4. Here nitrogen is in +4 oxidation state. Both these oxides exist in equilibrium at room temperature. NO2 and N2O4 exist at equilibrium at room temperature. This is the reaction which takes place if we change the temperature. Firstly, if we talk about this gas, it exists in 100% composition below its freezing point, that is below minus 11.2 degrees Celsius. 100% N2O4 will exist as colorless solid. Now if we exceed the freezing point, this is the equilibrium point. If we exceed the freezing point, that is if we rise the temperature above minus 11.2 degrees Celsius, around 0.01% of NO2 will be formed in the mixture, and this colorless solid will get converted to pale yellow color. Further, we rise the temperature to its boiling point, that is 21.5 degrees Celsius. Then what happens is that pale yellow color will change to deep yellowish brown color, and due to the formation of 0.1% NO2 in N2O4. If we further increase the temperature to 100 degrees Celsius, then there is a formation of NO2. Completely NO2 would be there, and the color would be brown in color. Further rising the temperature to 140 degrees Celsius and further to 600 degrees Celsius will decompose NO2 to oxygen and nitrogen monoxide, which is a colorless gas. So this is how N2O4 from its pure 100% composition gets converted to NO2, and then that also decomposes at 600 degrees Celsius. Now coming to the preparation, it is prepared by heating dried lead nitrate in a steel vessel. If we heat dried lead nitrate in a steel vessel, we get nitrogen dioxide gas which exists in equilibrium. If we cool NO2 below the freezing point, we'll get N2O4 based upon the equilibrium reaction. Physical properties are that it is reddish brown in color. Physical properties of any oxide which we are discussing or which we are going to discuss further in this P block chapter will be derived from the preparation part. You can always write about the color, the existing state in the physical properties, melting point, boiling point, anything you remember out of the synthesis part you can write in the physical properties based upon that. Now chemical properties are that it can act as an oxidizing agent. Almost all the oxides of nitrogen act as oxidizing agent. So this is one of the chemical property of all the oxides of nitrogen. These react with water to give a mixture, this gas particularly N2O4 or we can say NO2, which exist in equilibrium with each other. These react with water to give a mixture of nitrous acid and nitric acid. So these can be called as anhydride of a mixture of acids, that is nitrous acid and nitric acid. This is the structure of NO2. It exists as nitrogen having one of the singly unshared electron with nitrogen, as nitrogen is forming double bond with one of the oxygen. Here 2 electrons are being shared for nitrogen, as nitrogen is having 5 valence electrons. 2 electrons are giving to this oxygen as coordinate bond, and 1 electron is present as unshared electron. Due to the presence of this unshared electron, there is a possibility of formation of this dimer, that is N2O4. Existence is based upon the presence of this unshared electron which is present with nitrogen here. Based upon this, nitrogen bond is formed and we get N2O4. These are the resonating structures contributing towards the structure of N2O4, wherein nitrogen is in +4 oxidation state. Next oxide of nitrogen is N2O5. This is the only oxide of nitrogen which is solid at room temperature. It is prepared from nitric acid by reacting it with a very important dehydrating agent, which is P4O10, which is an oxide of phosphorus. We'll be doing further. So when nitric acid reacts with it, it absorbs water from nitric acid and we get N2O5. Coming to the physical properties, it is a white crystalline solid which sublimes directly at 32.4 degrees Celsius, which means this is the only oxide of nitrogen which exists as solid at room temperature. Coming to the chemical properties, with water it gives nitric acid. That means this is an anhydride of nitric acid. It acts violently as oxidizing and reducing agent for both metals and non-metals. This is the oxide which can act both as oxidizing as well as reducing agent. Coming to the structure, this is a structure of N2O5. It solid and in gaseous state it exists as different. It occupies different structures. In solid, it exists as ionic solid with NO2 positive and NO3 negative ions, and in gaseous it occurs at this compound. Now coming to the oxides of phosphorus, 3 oxides of phosphorus are there as far as your syllabus is concerned. So 3 oxides are phosphorus trioxide, phosphorus tetroxide, phosphorus pentoxide. In the formula there are always 4 phosphorus present, and in trioxide 6 oxygen are there, tetroxide 8 oxygen are there, and pentoxide 10 oxygen are there. These all 3 are dimers of P2O3, P2O4 and P2O5. P4O6, in P4O6 phosphorus is in +3 oxidation state. It is often formulated as P2O3 and in the dimeric form, but based upon the vapor density measurements it is predicted to exist as dimer, that is P4O6. This is prepared via heating white phosphorus in limited supply of air. If we heat phosphorus, that is particularly the white phosphorus, compound formula is P4. If it is heated in limited supply of air, then we get P4O6. If we heat white phosphorus in excess of air, then we'll get P4O10. So in the synthesis of P4O6 we'll get traces of P4O10 also. So these can be separated based upon the fact that P4O10 is solid at 60 degrees Celsius. So if we condense the mixture of vapors of both the gases, both these compounds, if we condense them, then this will get condensed at 60 degrees Celsius and get separated. Also P4 remains there in the unreacted form. So to purify P4O6, what we do is we expose the whole mixture to UV light. White phosphorus there get converted to red phosphorus in the presence of UV light, and then what we do is we dissolve the mixture in some organic solvent where P4O6 is soluble in organic solvent and red phosphorus remains insoluble. So that way we can separate the raw material from the product and we get the pure P4O6. These are the physical properties which includes, this is white soft crystalline solid with garlic odor. Odor is garlic like, soluble in many organic solvents, which is this property is used in the purification of P4O6. Also vapor density suggests that it exists as dimer, that is P4O6. Chemical properties include that this P4O6, when heated in a sealed tube at 210 degrees Celsius, we get phosphorus tetroxide. This is a preparation of phosphorus tetroxide. So in case of P2O3 or we can say P4O6, we have discussed the preparation of all the 3 oxides of phosphorus, that is trioxide, tetroxide and pentoxide. With water it gives us phosphorus acid. That means it is an anhydride of phosphorus acid. With hot water it gives us mixture of phosphoric acid and inflammable phosphine. This according to this reaction, that with hot water it gives us the mixture of phosphoric acid plus inflammable phosphine. At higher temperature it get converted in the presence of oxygen, it get oxidized to P4O10. That is, if we further react P4O6 with excess of oxygen, then we get P4O10. This thing we have already discussed. With halides we get oxyhalides. If we react P4O6 with halides, then we get oxyhalides. With sulfur it forms a crystalline compound which is having the formula of P4O6S4. This is the only crystalline compound formed with phosphorus and sulfur. Now coming to the structure, this is a very important part that is structure of all the three oxides of phosphorus is very important. Phosphorus are, all the four phosphorus are present as tetrahedral arrangement. As we know, P4 exists as tetrahedral arrangement of phosphorus are there in case of P4. So here also phosphorus are present in the tetrahedral arrangement. As we all know that there are 6 edges of phosphorus. These green colored pen, the lines joining these P's are not the bonds. Only the red color lines are depicting the bonds. So these are just showing the edges of regular tetrahedron. That is why I have drawn them as wavy. So phosphorus are present as tetrahedron, and along the edge of each each edge of the tetrahedron there is a presence of oxygen as a bridge between two phosphorus. So there are 6 edges and 6 oxygens would be present as bridge between two phosphorus each. So this is about the structure of P4O6, and each phosphorus will be having a lone pair, as each phosphorus is making 3 covalent bonds with 3 oxygens. Next we have P4O8, which is prepared from P4O6. We have already discussed, in a sealed tube at 200 degrees Celsius. It is also a colorless solid. This P4O8 is an anhydride of, this is called as a mixed anhydride of phosphorus and phosphoric acid. Structure is here. The structure is exactly similar to structure of P4O6, except there are additional 2 oxygens present which are having coordinate bond from 2 of the phosphorus. And in case of, if we see the structure of P4O10, there are 4 oxygens present in addition to these 6. These 6 oxygens are present in this also, and P4O6 also. But in addition to P4O6, in P4O8 there are 2 oxygens which are having coordinate bond with 2 of the phosphorus, and in case of P4O10 there are 4 oxygens which are having coordinate bond with all the 4 phosphorus, and making the total number of oxygens to 10 in P4O10, 8 in P4O8. Last oxide which we are going to discuss out of the oxides of group 15 elements, that is P4O10. Its preparation we have already discussed, that it is when white phosphorus is reacted with excess of air, we get P4O10. This is the only oxide of phosphorus, or we can say only oxide of group 15 which exhibits phosphorescence at low temperature. With cold water it gives us metaphosphoric acid, and with hot water further it gives us orthophosphoric acid. So overall it is making orthophosphoric acid with water. So ultimately it can be called as an anhydride of orthophosphoric acid. I am repeating again that which oxide is anhydride of which acid. This is an important question from the examination point of view. The structures are important, structure of all the oxides are important, and the nitrogen and phosphorus are present in which oxidation state. This is also an important question. The only oxide which is having dehydrating properties is P4O10 out of group 15. This is the important part, that P4O10 can act as powerful dehydrating agent, that it can be used for the dehydration of very strong acids such as H2SO4, HNO3. It can dehydrate H2SO4 to SO3, HNO3 to N2O5, as N2O5 is a anhydride of nitric acid. So while dehydrating, nitric acid will get N2O5, RCONH2 gets converted to RCN. Also it can also dehydrate cellulose and convert it to charcoal. Also it gets reduced to phosphorus with carbon. When it is reacted with carbon, it gets reduced to phosphorus, and carbon will get oxidized to carbon monoxide. So this is all about the oxides of group 15 elements. I have already discussed the important parts which you have to memorize, and I'll be sending the assignment along with this video. That is it for today. Tomorrow we'll be discussing the oxy acids of group 15 elements. Thank you.